Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. To illustrate, consider this headline from the Crypto Basics. Top legal expert gives date for 3 possible outcomes in Ripple vs. SEC, with coverage provided by none other than attorney Jeremy Hogan, who is quoted as saying, "I have outlined every possibility in a quote." So, I'll relay his exact words to you. But before we go any further, let me say that I come from absolutely no financial background. Expenses are not something I can help you with. And remember, you should never use anything I say as a reason to buy or sell something. I'm merely a hobbyist who likes to share his knowledge on crypto-related issues through YouTube videos. But in a casual, recreational context. I'm relieved to hear that I'm not the only person who misses lawyer Jeremy Hogan's YouTube channel legal briefs. We all greatly appreciate the service he provided to our community by keeping us informed. Also, it was also cool to witness, and maybe some of you noticed this, maybe not. I may have even covered this in an earlier video. But at the end of September's official party, in front of thousands of people, Brad Garland admitted on stage that he had been watching those films to gain insight from attorney Hogan. I'm sure I'm not alone when I say how helpful and interesting you found this. The silver lining is that, although he is no longer uploading videos to YouTube, he is still active in the social media realm, as evidenced by his recent contribution to X. And now I shall inform you of his most recent developments. In light of the judge's denial of an interlocutory appeal in the Ripple vs. SEC case, I think his following statement may have caused some misunderstanding as to what might happen next. That's why I laid out every scenario, including the likelihood of each and the estimated duration. Exactly. Judge Torres refused the SEC's request for an interlocutory appeal about a week ago, which, to be honest, didn't surprise me. I suppose everyone is aware of this. That's about what most of the neighborhood anticipated, anyway. So, the term interlocutory appeal simply refers to an appeal that is processed more quickly. The SEC can still file an appeal after the case has concluded, but the threshold is higher than in a typical appeal. As a result of attorney Hogan's summary, the judge granted summary judgment and dismissed the case without prejudice. The SEC may file an appeal regardless of the outcome of the case. The day of final judgment is the day that this will occur. The SEC, as you will see, has few viable choices. First, he says there's a 39.456% chance that the SEC will proceed to trial in April against the individual defendants. That's pretty specific. He had to have similarly precise figures for the outcome of the case. I don't recall exactly when, but it was probably this year. However, I find the accuracy to be quite humorous. The humor factor is thus unquestionably at 39.456%. He then claims that the judge has just the most difficult issues still to be tried. It's possible that the SEC will lose in court, and that some of the agency's dirty laundry will be exposed at the same time. A ruling from an appellate court, assuming the SEC takes the issue to trial, would not be expected until 2026. The matter would likely be returned back to Judge Torres for further litigation regardless of whether or not the SEC prevails on appeal. And as far as the time and the the great news is obviously, as all this goes on the law of the land, is that XRP itself is not a security, and the SEC literally can't appeal that, and perhaps even more interestingly, perhaps the SEC has said that they don't seek to appeal, or that they're going to seek to appeal that they don't want appellate review. So it's done and dusted, it makes no difference to me, and then I know that the Bitcoin maxi, a few of them still talk like total moron, which is par for the course. For them, honestly, they act as if this might be reversed, as if there were some chance of repeal. You should not assume that XRP will maintain its current non-security status in the long run. If you have that view, you have no idea what you're talking about, and even if it were true, even if the Bitcoin maxi trolls were correct, you're still looking at 2 or 3 years away under the scenario stated by attorney Hogan. But also, to make sure you know exactly what we're talking about, I've opened a related link in a new tab, which I'll hopefully remember to show you before I end the movie. However, in this case, we are only concerned with the individual defendants and not the as this relates to Ripple. It's not as though the most important issues haven't been resolved. To continue, Attorney Hogan says, if the SEC wants to force the entire case to trial and appeal the parts of the judgment against Ripple that it doesn't like, that's okay. However, in that case, a definitive resolution is most likely to occur in 2027. To be precise, on June 14 of 2027, best of luck. Indeed, they will require a great deal of good fortune. I've been saying for a while now, but especially in the past few weeks, that the SEC is fighting a losing battle, but they should just give up since the war is already done. However, if you have a look at the most significant rulings here, even, fully what you're seeing from judges and various crypto-related cases, whether it's Coinbase or the defeat and Grayscale, just take a look at everything. The SEC has been on the wrong side of history, and now the inevitable, righteous result we predicted is taking shape. We have witnessed that, and it is not reversing. Coinbase's spectacular success is the next important victory we need in the realm of cryptocurrencies, as that is a huge bottleneck. Previously, Attorney Deaton had stated, that's why the Coinbase case, arguably, is actually more important than the Ripple lawsuit. Actually, if Coinbase is found to have been offering all sorts of unregistered securities, and if the on-ramps and off-ramps for getting money into and out of crypto are gone or it's under heavy assault, that's the choke point. I get what he was trying to communicate. This is the next essential item. But that will only work once, and they will be defeated. When that occurs, you're in luck. Charles, you're a baby from Back Bay, and you're not going to win. To put it plainly, it seems to be it. You wanted a massive victory for the SEC in targeting XRP, which you didn't get, and you need a major victory with Coinbase, which you didn't get either. But they're playing on the losing team. It's therefore not shocking that the lawsuit was unsuccessful. And this high success rate they were promoting prior to the outcome of the SEC versus Ripple case doesn't end well for them. At that point, it will be in shambles. This is it, people. The SEC may reach a settlement with the individual defendants, then move forward to acquire a final judgment against Ripple, and finally appeal the case. The likelihood is 32.113%. The best choice for the SEC is this. Due to this fact. That they actually do it is something I seriously doubt. I find that amusing in a way. I've said similar things in the past, but the SEC is often its own worst enemy. Like they're doing themselves harm with their poor arguments and approaches to some issues. One need just recall the Ripple case to recall that both Court Sarah Nepper and the Magistrate Court ruled that the SEC lawyers were operating hypocritically and without full commitment to the rule of law. Keep in mind that, for me, is the case's best smack against him. Wow, it was wonderful. What we keep witnessing again and over again from these asset pricks at the SEC is that if there's anything good for them to do, they will do it. Attorney Hogan then explains that by skipping a very complex and overreaching lawsuit, the SEC will be able to get to an appeal court around 9 to 12 months sooner, saving both time and face. The SEC argued that it needed to file an early appeal because, if the people are settled, the matter will proceed directly to remedies, litigation, and still take months and months to complete. This choice would remain available until late in 2026, on August 14 of that year. Thirdly, the SEC can finish its legal battle with Ripple and the individual defendants by negotiating a settlement. What the judge means by saying that a settlement meeting like the one described below is possible and that each arrow needs a screenshot is correct. If you're curious, you can see below how a settlement conference, like the one the judge mandated, may play out. However, the SEC has demonstrated little willingness to negotiate. The SEC benefits from a settlement because it can boast another victory and cash in on the bad guy's money. The judge paved the way by explaining that her judgment is limited to the circumstances surrounding the 18.987% likely occurrence of December 21, 2023 involving XRP. At last, the possibility exists for something I haven't considered. The odds of that happening are 8.675%. It's clear that the SEC is stuck with some unattractive, drawn-out choices. Meanwhile, summary judgment is the rule of the land, and there's no way for that to alter till at least the year 2000. So, let me say something. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I have zero hope that this will ever change. Almost 0% is about what I'd give it. The good news is that by the time that happens, XRP will be free to participate in yet another bull cycle. There are no strings attached to it. Since its inception, XRP has followed the same trends as Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency industry. It did so in 2021. The fact that it didn't set a new record high is down to the fact that less individuals are prepared to buy it. But if the SEC hadn't attacked, I'm very sure we'd be on the moon right about now. Time for a Lamborghini would have long since passed. However, Sherry, it was the XRP community members who praised your work in covering the various possible outcomes in their letter to Attorney Hogan. People seem to have trouble grasping the concept that Ripple isn't the one being tried in court. Furthermore, the business is not involved in the scheduling information that was made public by the court. And Sherry's lawyer, Hogan, responded with a thank you letter. Indeed, Ripple will not be going to court. I apologize if that wasn't apparent. I can see your point. However, I do believe that the vast majority of us grasped that concept. The point you raise, though, is one I've noticed and continue to notice: individuals misreading the circumstance and assuming the trial hasn't run its course because of some outstanding issue. The same cannot be said for summary judgments. Finally, in terms of the finer points involving Brad and Chris, that's exactly what's happening right now. Anyway, I thought I should elaborate on it as well. That, however, is the most recent development according to attorney Jeremy Hogan. Since I'm not a certified financial planner, you shouldn't use my advice to make any investments or trades. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.